Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Mioara Cristea. I am the Director of Postgraduate Taught Programs in Psychology at Heriot-Watt University, and I'm currently the Director of the Masters in Business Psychology programs that we offer within the Department of Psychology. Today I'd like to take the opportunity to provide you with a detailed description of our business psychology programs. Before I do that, I would just like to provide you with a little bit of background about Heriot-Watt University. Many individuals, when they think about Edinburgh, they usually associate it with the University of Edinburgh. And very few actually know that in Edinburgh we do have 4 different universities, among which Heriot-Watt University. Heriot-Watt was established in 1821, quite a while ago, as the School of Arts of Edinburgh, and it was at that time the world's first mechanics institute. And subsequently it was granted a university status by Royal Charter in 1966. It is considered the 8th oldest higher education institute in the UK, and it carries the name of 2 Scottish personalities. First of all, the Scottish inventor James Watt, and secondly, the Scottish philanthropist, but also goldsmith, George Heriot. This year, we have the opportunity and the privilege of celebrating 200 years of existence. And for those of you interested in joining us at Heriot-Watt, well, we'll make sure to make you feel very welcomed and part of that celebration. Heriot-Watt University is considered to be a truly international university, which currently has 5 different campuses. Our main campus is located in Edinburgh, within a very beautiful green park just outside the Edinburgh airport, and with great access to city centre. For those of you who are interested in history and are looking to discover the Scottish history, but also the Scottish culture, the food, and all the other aspects that come with this beautiful historical city. Aside from the main campus in Edinburgh, we have other campuses which are located in the Scottish borders and in Orkney, both of them Scottish campuses. And then we have 2 international campuses which are located in Dubai and Malaysia. Aside from, or given our campuses in Dubai and Malaysia, Heriot-Watt University prides itself on being a truly global, diverse university which provides high-quality British higher education to students coming from all around the globe. Our Masters in Business Psychology are a unique interactive program that provide a psychological perspective on workplace behavior and a detailed understanding of underlying causes or behaviors in the workplace. These master's degrees examine the behavior of individuals, but also groups or teams in the workplace, as well as the systems in which these groups and individuals operate. As our student, you will consider topics such as organizational culture and how this differs around the world. You will be exploring the different management strategies that maximize organizational effectiveness. You will be looking at diversity and how to implement efficient diversity policies within multinational global organizations or companies, and so on and so forth. Furthermore, these different masters will equip students with skills that allow them to apply psychological principles and methods to challenges facing contemporary organizations and workers in today's working world. Our learning materials are developed by internationally recognized academic experts, and they are developed for an international audience. As I said before, many of our students come from all around the world, and therefore we've adapted our teaching materials in order to make sure that we address the needs of all these different students. Our teaching approach is quite interactive, and it's focused on the discussion of students' own experiences, which sometimes are quite relevant to the materials that we offer or we present. We offer both full-time as well as part-time options, in order to accommodate our students' personal and professional circumstances. On many occasions, we do get mature students who have already a career and who are here to develop their skills, but who do have to pursue their studies while also taking care of their families and sometimes having a full-time job. And in those circumstances, we offer these students part-time options which allow them to carry on their studies at a slower pace, thus making sure that they are well equipped afterwards to manage both academic and professional or personal tasks. The business psychology programs, the master's programs in business psychology, are organized within the psychology department. The different courses or the different academics involved in these programs are usually working within the Department of Psychology, which is situated within the School of Social Sciences at Heriot-Watt University. Our department is a rather intimate department. We have approximately 15 permanent academics, as well as several PhD students, research assistants, and postdoctoral fellows. Now, when it comes to our academics and the kind of activities that they do, I'd like to just mention briefly that aside from teaching activities, our academics are also involved in performing or conducting different research projects within different areas of psychology. All of our academics in the Department of Psychology are members of the Center for Applied Behavioral Sciences, and the mission of our research center is to basically create and exchange knowledge that is relevant to people and society under 3 distinct and important themes that you can actually see on the slide. So the first of them is work, society, and environment. And research under this theme includes behavior in the workplace, assessing risks in the environment, and interventions to improve workplace performance. And I think this one is the one that is the most relevant for our business psychology students, but also for the academics that are involved within these programs, because it fits within the research projects that or the research themes that are also presented to the students as part of their taught curricula, but also as part of their opportunities to do their dissertations within topics that fit with this particular area. Then we have 2 separate other themes, which are the lifespan health and well-being. Research under this particular theme explores health promotion, including activities in children and adolescents, but also healthy aging, mental health issues, and so on and so forth. And finally, the third theme is the cognition, brain, and behavior. And research under this particular theme explores change, including developmental conditions, social and developmental robotics, dementia and stroke patients, as well as healthy adults. So if you are to become a postgraduate student within our department, most likely you will be focusing your dissertation on the first topic that I've mentioned, the first research theme that I mentioned, which is work, society, and environment. And most likely the research that your teachers, your lecturers are performing is also included within this particular theme. Now, moving forward, let's talk a little bit about the general description of the business psychology programs, and then let's go into the detailed offers that we have here at Heriot-Watt. So what I always tell students is that the Masters in Business Psychology at Heriot-Watt University is one of the most established master's degree of its kind, not just in UK, but in Europe, more generally speaking, and enjoys a well-earned reputation for producing graduates who can actually improve the performance of individuals and teams at any level of organizations. The Master's in Business Psychology basically gives our students an in-depth understanding of the psychological mechanisms that drive positive behaviors and performances within the workplace. Whether you're coming from an industry position or directly from an undergrad degree, this long-term established program of study will equip you with an effective blend of knowledge, drawn, of course, from the specialist fields of psychology, management, and leadership, but also with practical skills, an understanding of how to use that blended knowledge and apply it within practical contexts within the business sector or the private sector, if you wish. Now, furthermore, I think it's important to understand that you will develop commercial awareness as well as an understanding of what we call global organizations, which will allow you to recognize the impact of economy, of politics, of globalization, and the changing labor on the psychology of a workplace and the performance of individuals, but most importantly also of teams. Now, moving forward, in addition to what we call pure business psychology program, Heriot-Watt University also offers 3 specialist business psychology pathways within our Edinburgh campus. And these different pathways refer to the Masters in Business Psychology with Human Resource Management. Then you have the Masters in Business Psychology with Intercultural Communication. And finally, the Masters in Business Psychology with Coaching. Now, when it comes to the business psychology with human resource management, what we've noticed is that business psychology graduates often build extremely rewarding careers in human resource management within a range of industries. And that is one of the reasons for which Heriot-Watt has created this specialist program, which blends our world-class teaching and expertise in both disciplines, psychology and human resource management, to basically create a specialist dual focus program. In regards to the Masters in Business Psychology with Intercultural Communication, this new specialist pathway has been introduced to basically help undergrads from the arts and humanities or from business management or psychology programs to kind of position themselves as highly employable candidates for multinational global organizations. And this particular pathway combines business psychology's focus on leadership, diversity, organizational culture, change with intercultural communications focus on written and verbal communication skills in cross-cultural professional business context. And the development of this specialist will basically put the graduates in the perfect position to make a positive impact on the performance, the communication, and the culture of what we call nowadays global organizations, particularly within a society that it's becoming more and more globalized. And finally, our program in business psychology with coaching, which is a more recent program or pathway, is a program that has been accredited by the International Coach Federation as what we call continuing coach education. Therefore, a number of the hours that you get from this particular master courses can actually be used to apply for the personal credentialing process, should you wish, of course, to pursue accredited coach status with the International Coach Federation. And in that case, our university provides a certificate which will be issued on the completion of these hours, and the student will therefore be able to use it to apply for the coach status, like I said before. So basically we have 4 different programs that we offer within our Edinburgh campus, and all of them are structured pretty much the same, but of course the content, the different courses are a bit different. And I'm just going to go into the details of the program or the structure of these different programs. So in most of the cases, these programs are a one-year master's. If you are a full-time student, you start in September, and then you have a first academic teaching semester from September to December with an exam diet mid-December. And then you have a second teaching semester starting January to April, followed by a short break and a diet of exams. And over the summer, we have a third semester, which is mostly a research-focused semester, during which time our students do their dissertation, their research projects. This applies for full-time students. As I said, it's a one-year master's program. If you are a part-time student, then of course that's a 2 years master's program. Each of the 2 teaching semesters are organized around 4 different mandatory courses, which are a bit different depending on the program or the pathway that you are included in. But most of these courses focus on topics that relate to coaching, leadership, organizational culture, social and organizational change, diversity, consumer behavior, marketing, intercultural communication in the workplace, coaching practice, business communication, and so on and so forth. So each teaching semester includes 4 mandatory courses. Once our students have gone through the first and the second teaching semester, at that stage we decide whether they can progress or not towards their dissertation, which means that at that stage they are entitled to start their dissertation project. And usually they do that over the summer within that third semester. In terms of the content or the structure of the different courses, like I said, you have 4 mandatory courses per semester. Aside from those mandatory courses, our students are encouraged and allowed to go and attend other courses that might be interesting for them or potentially useful for them in terms of complementing the courses that they're already taking. Our courses are focused on a 2 hours lecture every week for each of the 4 courses and some practical activities. And most of the courses include a mixture of assessment. So all the courses will be incorporating coursework, which is a little bit of assessment that will be performed throughout the teaching semester, and then an exam which will be addressed during the exam diet, of course. In terms of the type of assessments, we have a mixture of assessment, just like I said before, which include essays, oral presentations, reflective reports, diversity policies, intervention projects, and so on and so forth. And these different assignments can be either individual assignments, such as reflective reports, for example, or group work assignments where several students come together and they address a particular topic. In the slide that I provided to you, you can see pictures of some of my former students who were taking the consumer behavior or psychology for marketing course, and who were supposed to design a poster advertisement where they were supposed to advertise a particular product or service, and based on that poster they had to do an oral presentation. And you can see there are different groups that came up with very creative, very original ways of preparing their poster, first of all, but also in terms of preparing for their oral presentation. Now, of course, we're all aware that because our students come from all over the world, they also have a different academic background, and they might or might not necessarily be acquainted with all the different types of assessments that we incorporate at Heriot-Watt University, or that are generally incorporated within the British higher education system. And in order to make sure that our students are equipped with the understanding, but also with the academic skills that are required in order to address these different types of assessments, we offer extra skills, we call them extra skills sessions, in collaboration with our academic skills service, but also in collaboration with different student societies. More specifically, in our case, with the Heriot-Watt Psychology Society, which is a student-led society whose scope is to develop both academic but also social activities, trainings, workshops, aimed at enhancing the students' experience at Heriot-Watt, both academically but also socially. And again, you have some pictures on the slides which show you some of our former students, both postgraduates and undergrads, taking some training on research methods, if I'm not mistaken, well, as part of the Heriot-Watt Psychology Society activities. Furthermore, I would like to mention that we have a long-standing link and collaboration with the industry sector, but also with local consultancies such as the Thistle Foundation, the Insights Business Psychology Institute, the Visit Scotland, the School for CEO, and other local consultancies. And a lot of the times, our collaborators within these particular companies or organizations are invited to give professional talks to our students, give them some insight of what it is to actually or what it entails to actually work as a business psychologist or as an alumni of a master's in business psychology within different areas, within different businesses contexts. Aside from that, these collaborations have also made it possible for us, on some occasions, to also offer some, not all, of our postgraduate students who have shown interest, the opportunity to make or to do some internships. For example, Ronja Osner was one of the voluntary research assistants who conducted a 3-month internship with the School for CEO 2 years back, when we had a project, myself included. We've had a project with the School for CEO looking at the prevalence of the imposter syndrome in senior leaders and trying to come up with coping strategies in order to make sure that, first of all, these senior leaders were aware of the imposter syndrome, of its different facets, but also how it can be contained, particularly in business contexts. So at that stage, Ronja had a very valuable role within the project, and she acted as our voluntary research assistant. This academic year, we have another project that we're running in collaboration with the School for CEO, which is most specifically focused on senior leaders' experience of burnout during the lockdown and the different strategies that we can use in order to make sure that their level of burnout is contained, or different potential interventions and activities that can be put in place in order to make sure that employees, particularly at senior leadership positions, are not experiencing burnout, or at least not to a very high level. And we also have several students that are involved as part of this particular project. Aside from attending extra skills sessions at the university, or having the opportunity to do internships, our students also have the opportunity to present their findings at different public events and scientific conferences. A lot of the times, students get very passionate about their dissertation project. They work in collaboration with different organizations and institutions when it comes to choosing the topic, and together with their supervisor, they come up with very novel, very interesting research ideas. And of course, they're eager to present these findings to different audiences, and on several occasions we've had students attending different conferences. In the slides you can see Shah, who is one of my former students, who is very passionate about diversity. She ran a study looking at the attitudes of individuals within different multinational companies, and their attitudes towards diversity policies and the elements that were included in these diversity policies. And then she had the opportunity to present these findings at a conference in Brussels. I think it was in November 2019, if I'm not mistaken. There was a conference that was focused on diversity in the workplace, and it brought together academics as well as specialists from the private sector. And Shah was very lucky because she had the opportunity to go and present her dissertation's findings, and also build some connections and professional network, and develop her professional network with the individuals that were invited at that particular conference. Furthermore, aside from the obvious academic activities and extracurricular activities, we also organize social activities. And we've been organizing quizzes, bowling competitions, international lunches, Halloween parties. Most of the years we do that face to face. This year we've had to adjust, and we've created a lot of online opportunities for our students where they could come together, share their experiences, enjoy different activities together, better understand their cohort, their colleagues, and communicate properly but also efficiently within their groups of students. And I think these kind of activities are very important because it allows our students to get to know their academics at a more personal level, because most of the times we are also included in these activities. But it also allows them to develop interpersonal relationships and friendships with their fellow students, be it with their fellow postgraduate business psychology colleagues, but also with other postgraduate students from the School of Social Sciences, with undergrad psychology students, and so on and so forth. Now, moving forward, I would like to address the issue of professional roles and jobs that our graduate students tend to go towards once they finish their studies. The content of this one-year master's degree has been tailored to meet the needs of those working towards a number of job roles, such as business psychology practitioner, human resources manager, organizational development manager, coaching consultant, management consultant, or leadership consultant. Over half of our graduates go into relevant areas of work such as business psychology, HR consultancy, coaching, or training. In addition to that, a significant number of our graduates go on to do further studies such as PhD thesis or DBAs, either within Heriot-Watt University or in other universities. We currently have two of our former alumni doing a PhD thesis. One of them is focused on invisible disabilities in the workplace and is supervised by Professor Kate Sang from the School of Social Sciences, and the other one refers to social identity and hustle jobs, and is supervised by Dr. Lauren Potter from the Department of Psychology and Professor Laura Galloway from the Department of Business Management. Other students, of course, they decide to do a PhD studentship or degree, but within other universities or within other countries as well. Now, moving forward, once again, I want to stress that our alumni work in different fields such as selection and assessment, such as coaching, such as culture, such as health and well-being in the workplace, such as psychometric testing, employee engagement, and so on and so forth. And just to give you two examples, here you have one of our graduates, one of our best graduates. We have Susan Hart, who was one of our students, I think 2 or 3 years ago maybe. She currently works as a transformation manager and coach at 3K Transformation, which is based in Bonn, Germany. And then we have Jono, who works as an independent business psychologist at a company based in London, which is called Team Improvis, which he himself has created 2 years ago when he graduated. We have a close connection with Jono in the sense that he is frequently invited back to Heriot-Watt to speak to our current students, to share a little bit of his experience as a student here with us, but also to share his professional experience, what it is to actually develop, create your own company, the effort, the investment that it requires, but also the advantages, the benefits of doing so. Now, I think this is pretty much most of the information that I wanted to provide you with. If you have any other questions regarding the programs, maybe more specific details about one or other of the 4 pathways that I've mentioned, please don't hesitate to contact me via social media. You have my Twitter handler, but also my LinkedIn details on the slide. You can also contact me via email, and we can organize a face-to-face meeting and have a discussion about the different programs, about the entry requirements, and so on and so forth. Don't hesitate to have a look at the Department of Psychology website to see the kind of research projects that we do, to see the kind of public engagement activities that we are involved in together with some of our PhD students, but also together with our postgraduate students. Don't hesitate to have a look at our LinkedIn alumni group. I think you will find a lot of useful information there about who are our graduates, what kind of jobs they do, what kind of information is shared within that particular community. And again, if you have any other questions or queries, please don't hesitate to come back to me. Now, I'm almost done with my presentation, so I would just like to say a big thank you to everyone for having the patience of following me through the last 30 minutes or so. For those of you interested in our programs, I look forward to meeting you or seeing you in person in September. And with that, I'd like to thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and bye-bye.